For decades, the supercar world had its kings. Italy gave us passion. Germany gave us precision. Britain gave us heritage. America gave us raw power. And China was supposed to make the affordable stuff. The economy cars, the electric scooters, the cheap alternatives. But something changed. Quietly, deliberately, dangerously. While the old guard was busy protecting their legacy, China was writing a new rulebook. And they weren't asking for permission. The Yangwang U9 Xtreme isn't just another electric supercar trying to fit into the existing hierarchy. It's a complete reset of what performance means in the 21st century. This is the car that made Ferrari engineers lose sleep. That made Lamborghini executives question their timeline. That made McLaren realize they might have waited too long. This is the moment everything changed. 1,306 horsepower. But that number alone doesn't tell the story. Because in the world of internal combustion, horsepower comes with compromise. It comes with weight, complexity, heat, lag, maintenance, fragility. The U9 throws all of that in the garbage. For electric motors, one on each wheel, no transmission, no drive shaft, no differential, no mechanical sympathy required. 1,180 Newton-meters of torque available from the first millimeter of throttle travel. Not at 5,000 RPM, not when the turbos spool, not when the conditions are perfect. Now, always, everywhere. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 1.97 seconds. That's not a number. That's violence. That's your vision blurring. That's your brain struggling to process what your body is experiencing. 0 to 200 for 0.3 seconds. Think about that. From a standstill to 200 kilometers per hour faster than most cars reach 100. Top speed is 309 kilometers per hour. Electronically limited because beyond that the laws of physics start having opinions about tire durability. But here's what separates the U9 from every other electric hypercar: repeatability. This isn't a party trick you can do once before the battery overheats. This is sustained, repeatable, consistent violence. Launch control. Use it 50 times in a row. The car doesn't care. The batteries don't fade. The motors don't overheat. This is industrial-grade performance engineering disguised as a supercar. The D-SUS-X suspension system. Remember that name, because it's about to become the benchmark every other manufacturer chases for the next decade. This isn't adaptive damping. This isn't air suspension. This is something entirely different. Each corner of the car can independently adjust its height by 75 millimeters. Not over seconds, in milliseconds, faster than you can blink. The U9 can drive on 3 wheels. Yes, you read that correctly. It can lift one wheel completely off the ground while maintaining full control and stability with the other 3. It can jump, actually jump, like a rally car clearing a crest, except this is a 1,300 horsepower supercar, doing it deliberately, controllably, repeatedly. But the party tricks aren't the point. They're just proof of concept. The real magic happens at speed, on real roads, in real conditions. The suspension system has dozens of sensors reading the road surface, the body position, the lateral forces, the acceleration vectors. It's processing all of this data thousands of times per second. Hit a bump mid-corner at 200 kilometers per hour? The suspension adjusts before the wheel even touches the irregularity. It's predictive. It's proactive. It's borderline telepathic. The car anticipates weight transfer under braking and adjusts the suspension to optimize contact patch. It senses the beginning of a corner and preloads the outside wheels. It detects a rough surface and softens precisely where needed while keeping the rest of the car flat. This is what happens when you let software engineers and AI specialists design suspension instead of just mechanical engineers. The result? A car that rides like a luxury sedan on the highway and performs like a GT3 race car on track, without compromise, without mode selection. It just does it. Look at this car. Really look at it. Every surface, every line, every vent exists for a reason. This isn't styling. This is engineering wearing an aggressive suit. The front end is pure purpose. Massive air intakes feeding cooling systems and generating downforce. LED headlights that look like they're cutting through reality because the optical design is that sharp. The side profile is all about airflow management. Those vents aren't decorative. They're extracting hot air from the battery packs and motor systems. They're managing the pressure differential between the wheel wells and the external bodywork. The rear? That's where things get serious. An active rear wing that adjusts angle based on speed and driving mode. A diffuser that could suck the paint off the road. Quad exhaust outlets that are completely fake because this car doesn't need exhaust, but they're there because it looks intimidating. And it works. The U9 looks fast standing still. It looks expensive. It looks exclusive. It looks like it costs $2 million, which makes the actual price even more shocking. The butterfly doors aren't just for show. They're carbon fiber. They're light. They provide enormous access to an interior that's part fighter jet cockpit, part luxury lounge. The steering wheel is wrapped in Alcantara and carbon fiber. The seats are aggressive buckets that somehow remain comfortable on long drives. The dashboard is a seamless curve of displays and premium materials. But here's what really matters: build quality. Panel gaps are tight. Materials are premium. Fit and finish rivals anything from Europe. This isn't a car that looks good in photos, but disappoints in person. This is a car that photographs well, and looks even better when you're standing next to it. 80 kilowatt hours doesn't sound revolutionary. The Porsche Taycan Turbo S has a 93 kilowatt hour battery. The Mercedes EQS has over 100. But here's where engineering matters more than marketing. The U9's battery pack uses the latest generation lithium-ion cells with silicon-doped anodes. Higher energy density, faster charging, better thermal characteristics, longer lifespan. More importantly, the battery management system is masterclass engineering. Every cell is individually monitored. Temperature is controlled with liquid cooling that flows through micro-channels in the pack structure. The result? You can drive this car hard. I mean truly hard. Track day hard. And the battery temperature barely moves. Other electric supercars talk about track capability. The U9 delivers it. Multiple flying laps. Consistent performance. No thermal limiting. No reduced power mode. No warnings on the dashboard telling you to slow down. Range is 380 kilometers in mixed driving. On the track, obviously less. But who cares? This isn't a road trip car. This is a weapon that happens to be street legal. Charging is where things get interesting. The U9 supports ultra-fast charging at rates up to 370 kilowatts. 10 to 80% in under 20 minutes. That's faster than most people spend at a gas station when they're also grabbing coffee and using the restroom. The charging port is hidden behind a motorized panel in the rear quarter. Touch it and it opens automatically. Plug in and the car communicates with the charger to optimize charging speed while protecting battery longevity. This is the kind of attention to detail that separates good engineering from great engineering. 0.22 drag coefficient. Let that number sink in. That's better than a Porsche Taycan. Better than a Tesla Model S Plaid. Better than cars that are specifically designed for efficiency rather than performance. The U9 achieves this while also generating massive downforce. At top speed, the car produces over 350 kilograms of downforce, pressing it into the tarmac. How? Computational fluid dynamics run through thousands of simulations. Every curve of the body optimized not by eye, but by algorithm. The front splitter is aggressive but functional. It directs air under the car through carefully sculpted channels in the flat floor. That air accelerates, creating low pressure that literally sucks the car to the road. The side skirts aren't just cosmetic extensions. They're sealing the sides of the floor, preventing high-pressure air from the sides of the car from contaminating the low-pressure area underneath. The rear diffuser is massive. Multiple channels, carefully angled, extracting that fast-moving air from under the car and slowing it down in a controlled manner. The pressure differential creates suction. The active rear wing has multiple positions. At low speeds, it's retracted for minimum drag. At high speeds, it deploys for maximum downforce. Under heavy braking, it tilts to act as an air brake, helping slow the car more effectively. Every vent on this car is functional. The ones behind the front wheels extract air that would otherwise create turbulence in the wheel wells. The ones on the rear quarters exhaust heat from the battery packs. This is aerospace engineering applied to automotive design, and it works. When you can accelerate from 0 to 200 in 4 seconds, you need brakes that can undo that violence just as quickly. Carbon ceramic rotors, 420 millimeters in the front, enormous by any standard. 6-piston calipers gripping them with hydraulic force that could crush diamonds. But the mechanical brakes are almost secondary. The real stopping power comes from regenerative braking. Each of those 4 electric motors can reverse their function instantly. Instead of consuming electricity to create motion, they resist motion to create electricity. The regenerative braking system can produce up to 0.4 gs of deceleration without ever touching the mechanical brakes. That's enough to handle most normal driving situations entirely through electrical braking. The advantage: the mechanical brakes stay cool. They're ready when you really need them. When you're braking from 300 kilometers per hour down to 50 for a tight corner. The brake-by-wire system blends regenerative and mechanical braking seamlessly. You press the pedal, and the car figures out the optimal combination. You never feel the transition. It's just pure linear, massive deceleration. From 200 kilometers per hour to zero, under 70 meters. That's sports car territory. That's physics-defying territory. And you can do it repeatedly, lap after lap. The carbon ceramics don't fade. The regenerative system doesn't overheat. The car just stops violently and precisely every single time. This car thinks constantly about everything. Dozens of sensors and cameras monitoring every aspect of the vehicle and its environment. Radar, LiDAR, ultrasonic sensors, high-definition cameras. The advanced driver assistance systems aren't just safety features. They're performance enhancers. Adaptive cruise control that can maintain following distance at speeds up to 250 kilometers per hour. Lane keeping assist that actually works smoothly instead of ping-ponging between lane markers. Automatic emergency braking that can detect and react to hazards faster than human reflexes. Blind spot monitoring that integrates with the torque vectoring system to help you change lanes more safely at high speed. But here's where it gets really interesting. AI power performance optimization. The car learns your driving style. It adapts the throttle response, the steering weight, the suspension settings to match how you drive. Not through mode selection, through machine learning. Track mode activates a lap timer that uses GPS to recognize which circuit you're on and provides real-time delta times against your previous laps. It suggests braking points. It highlights where you're gaining or losing time. The telemetry system records everything. Every input, every sensor reading, every performance metric. You can download it, analyze it, improve. This is what happens when a car company has access to the same AI research that's powering autonomous vehicles and smart city infrastructure. The U9 isn't just fast, it's intelligent, and it makes you faster by extension. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. How does the U9 stack up against the establishment? The Rimac Nevera, 1914 horsepower, 1.85 seconds to 100. Absolutely mental. But it costs over 2 million euros. It's hand-built in Croatia. Production is measured in dozens per year. The Lotus of Egypt, 2,000 horsepower, sub 3 seconds 0 to 100. Absolutely gorgeous. Also over 2 million pounds. Also extremely limited production. The Pininfarina Battista. Same platform as the Nevera. Same insane performance. Same stratospheric price. Same exclusivity. These are masterpieces. Engineering marvels. Works of art. But they're not scalable. They're not accessible. They're not changing the industry. The Yangwang U9, $433,000. Yes, that's expensive. That's serious money. But it's half the price of the competition while delivering 90% of the performance. More importantly, it's being built in real numbers. This isn't a limited edition. This is series production. This is a car you can actually order and receive in a reasonable time frame. Even comparing to traditional supercars, the value proposition is staggering. Ferrari SF90, slower, less powerful, more expensive when similarly equipped. Porsche 918 Spider, out of production and sells used for over $1 million. McLaren Speedtail, also over 2 million and limited to 106 units. The U9 isn't just competing, it's rewriting the rules of engagement. It's forcing every other manufacturer to reconsider their strategy, their pricing, their timeline. Numbers are meaningless until you're actually behind the wheel. So let's talk about what it's really like to drive the U9. You settle into the carbon fiber bucket seat. It's firm but supportive. The driving position is perfect. Low, central. You can see the front corners of the car. Press the start button. Nothing happens because there's no engine to start. The displays light up. The systems initialize. You're ready. Select drive. The car barely makes a sound. A soft hum. Some electronic whirring. But mostly silence. Touch the throttle. The car moves with eerie smoothness. No clutch to modulate. No gears to shift. Just linear, Progressive, effortless motion. The steering is precise, nicely weighted, not artificially heavy, but with enough resistance to feel connected to the front wheels. The ride quality in comfort mode is genuinely impressive. The active suspension soaks up imperfections while keeping the body flat. It's comfortable enough for daily driving. But this is a supercar. Nobody buys a 1,300 horsepower electric missile to cruise gently. Select Sport mode. The suspension firms up. The throttle response sharpens. The steering adds a bit more weight. Find an empty stretch of road. Check your mirrors. Check again. Line up the car. Left foot on the brake. Right foot building throttle pressure. Release the brake. The world compresses. Your vision tones. The horizon rushes at you with violence that doesn't feel real. 100 kilometers per hour arrives, so fast you almost miss it. The acceleration doesn't taper. It doesn't fade. It just keeps pushing. 200. Still accelerating hard. 250. The scenery is a blur. This is violence. This is addictive. This is terrifying and exhilarating in equal measure. Hit the brakes. Hard. The car stops like it hit a wall. No drama. No instability. Just pure, massive deceleration. Find a corner. A fast sweeper. Maintain speed through the approach. Turn in. The steering response is immediate. The car rotates perfectly. The torque vectoring pushes you through the apex. You can feel the outside rear motor working harder, helping rotate the car. Accelerate out. The traction is absolute. For motors, for contact patches, all working together. There's no wheel spin, no drama, just grip and violence. This car doesn't just go fast. It makes you feel like a hero. The technology, the intelligence, the active systems, they're all working to make you faster, safer, more confident. It's intoxicating. Let's address the elephant in the room. Or rather, the absence of an elephant. There's no engine noise, no exhaust symphony, no mechanical soundtrack to accompany the violence. Purists hate this. They say it's soulless. They say a supercar needs to sound like it's tearing the fabric of reality. And I get it. I understand the emotional appeal of a naturally aspirated V12 screaming to 9,000 RPM. I appreciate the crackling overrun of a turbocharged flat-six. I respect the thunderous bellow of a supercharged V8. But here's the thing. The silence of the U9 is its own kind of intimidating, because when you're not hearing engine noise, you're hearing everything else. The slight whistle of wind at high speed, the rush of air over the body, the grip of the tires on asphalt. You're more connected to the physics of what's happening. You're not distracted by acoustic theater. You're experiencing pure motion. And there's something deeply unsettling about a 1,300 horsepower car that whispers instead of roars. It's predatory. It's menacing in a completely different way. When a Ferrari screams past, you hear it coming from a kilometer away. The U9 just appears. Suddenly, silently, gone before you process what happened. That's intimidating in its own right. Plus, the U9 has a sound system that can pipe an artificial engine noise if you really want it. Sport mode, track mode, each has its own synthesized soundtrack. Is it authentic? No. Is it fun? Actually, yes. It adds to the experience without being essential to it. But most of the time, I found myself leaving it off. The silence grows on you. It becomes part of the character. This is a different kind of supercar. It doesn't need to shout to command respect. This is where China has made the biggest leap. Not in performance, not in technology, but in quality. A decade ago, Chinese cars were cheap for a reason. Panel gaps you could fit your finger through. Interior materials that felt like they came from a discount store. Build quality that was questionable at best. The U9 demolishes every one of those stereotypes. Panel gaps are measured in millimeters. Consistent, precise, aligned. The doors close with a solid bank vault thunk. No rattles, no squeaks, no flexing. The paint quality is exceptional. Deep, mirror smooth. Applied with the kind of precision that comes from robotic automation perfected over millions of units. Inside, the materials are genuinely premium. The carbon fiber has a deep, clear weave. The Alcantara is soft and consistent. The leather is supple. The metal trim feels substantial. The switchgear operates with precision. Buttons have a satisfying click. Dials rotate with damped resistance. The displays are high resolution and responsive. This is fit and finish that rivals anything from Germany. It's build quality that matches Italy's best. It's attention to detail that would make British craftsmen nod in approval. How did they do it? Money, investment, expertise hired from legacy manufacturers, quality control processes borrowed from industries where failure isn't acceptable. BYD, the parent company of Yangwang, didn't just hire a few designers from Europe. They hired entire teams. Engineers who spent decades at BMW, Mercedes, Audi. Manufacturing specialists from Porsche. Quality control experts from Lexus. They learned, they adapted, they improved, and they didn't stop until the product was genuinely world-class. The U9 isn't just good for a Chinese car. It's good, period. Full stop. Without qualifiers. The U9 is more than a car. It's a statement of intent. It's a declaration that the old hierarchy is over. For a century, the automotive world had a clear pecking order. European brands made the prestigious, desirable cars. American brands made the powerful, accessible ones. Japanese brands made the reliable, efficient ones. China made the cheap alternatives. That reality is dead. The U9 killed it. This is a car that Chinese executives drive with pride. That tech billionaires collect. That celebrities showcase. That commands respect on any street in any country. It represents the coming of age of an entire industry. The graduation from student to master. The transition from following to leading. And it's happening faster than anyone predicted. 10 years ago, the idea of a Chinese supercar competing with Ferrari seemed laughable. 5 years ago, it seemed possible but distant. Today, it's reality. The U9 proves that with enough capital, enough talent, enough determination, any country can compete at the highest levels of automotive engineering. It proves that legacy and heritage, while valuable, aren't insurmountable advantages. That technology and capital can level the playing field faster than anyone expected. It proves that the future of the automotive industry won't be written in Maranello or Stuttgart or Woking. It'll be written in Shanghai and Shenzhen and Beijing. This isn't just about one car. It's about what that car represents. The shift of economic power, the rise of new technological centers, the redistribution of automotive prestige. The U9 is China announcing to the world, we're not just participating in the supercar market, we're dominating it. Let's talk about what it's actually like to own this car. Because performance numbers mean nothing if the ownership experience is terrible. The U9 comes with a comprehensive warranty. 5 years or 100,000 kilometers for the vehicle. 8 years or 150,000 kilometers for the battery. That's confidence. That's a manufacturer standing behind their product. That's not someone trying to sell you a car and disappear. Service intervals are minimal because there's so little to service. No oil changes, no transmission fluid, no spark plugs, no timing belts, no clutches, just brake fluid, coolant, and cabin filters. The occasional tire rotation. That's basically it. Battery degradation. BYD's latest cells maintain over 90% capacity after 3,000 charge cycles. That's years of ownership for most people. Software updates happen over the air. You park the car in your garage, and it updates overnight. New features, performance improvements, bug fixes, all without visiting a dealer. The dealer network is expanding rapidly. In China, there are already hundreds of Yangwang service centers. In Europe and the Middle East, they're being established in major cities. Parts availability is surprisingly good because the company manufactures at scale. This isn't a boutique hypercar where a replacement part takes 6 months to source. Insurance, surprisingly reasonable for a car of this performance. Because the safety systems are comprehensive. Because the build quality is solid. Because the statistics show these cars aren't crashing at unusual rates. Depreciation, unknown. The car is too new. But early indications suggest strong residual values because demand exceeds supply. This is a supercar you can actually use, actually drive, actually enjoy without constant fear of something breaking or the maintenance costs bankrupting you. Yes, it's an electric car. Yes, that means zero tailpipe emissions. Yes, that's better for air quality in cities. But let's be honest about the environmental impact. This is a 1,300 horsepower supercar. This is not a vehicle designed for maximum environmental efficiency. The battery production has environmental costs. Mining lithium, cobalt, nickel, processing those materials, assembling the cells. That all requires energy and creates emissions. The electricity to charge it has to come from somewhere. If you're charging from coal power plants, the environmental benefit is questionable at best. But here's the thing. The U9 represents the learning curve, the development platform, The halo car that justifies the investment in electric technology that then trickles down to mass-market vehicles. BYD uses the U9 to develop battery technology, motor efficiency, power electronics, and thermal management systems that eventually appear in their affordable electric vehicles. The Blade battery technology in the U9, a more advanced version of what's going into BYD's compact cars. The motor design, scaled down for sedans and crossovers. Every U9 sold helps subsidize the research that makes affordable EVs better, cheaper, more practical. Plus, there's something to be said for reducing local air pollution. A U9 driving through Shanghai produces zero emissions at the tailpipe. A Ferrari or Lamborghini with a screaming V12. Not so much. Is the U9 saving the planet? No, of course not. But it's pushing the technology forward. It's proving what's possible. It's making electric performance desirable instead of just acceptable. And that matters. That changes minds. That shifts the industry. Theory is great. Specifications are impressive. But the only place a supercar really proves itself is on a racetrack. I took the U9 to a professional circuit. Not for a casual drive. For proper hot laps. Flying laps. Consistent pace. The kind of abuse that separates genuine performance cars from pretenders. First impression, the car feels smaller and more agile than its dimensions suggest. The steering communicates well. You can sense the front tires loading up. You can feel the limit approaching. The acceleration out of slow corners is absolutely brutal. Full throttle from 50 kilometers per hour, and the car just launches. No wheel spin, no drama, just violent, controlled acceleration that pins you to the seat. High-speed corners reveal the aerodynamic downforce. The faster you go, the more grip you have. It's counterintuitive but addictive. You can carry absurd speeds through sweeping bends. The braking performance is genuinely shocking. The carbon ceramics provide massive stopping power, but it's the regenerative braking that impressed me most. The transition is seamless. You never feel it switch between regen and mechanical braking. After 5 hard laps, I expected heat warnings. Power limitations. The car asking for a break. Nothing. No warnings. No reduced power. The battery temperature barely budged. The brake temperatures were high, but stable. The car was ready to keep going. 10 laps. 15 laps, 20 laps, still consistent, still fast, still no complaints from any system. This is what separates the U9 from other electric supercars. This isn't a sprint car. This isn't a one-lap wonder. This is a car designed for sustained performance. Lap times? Competitive with supercars costing twice as much. Not the absolute fastest around every circuit, but fast enough to embarrass most of the competition while costing half as much. The consistency is what impressed me most. Lap after lap within tenths of each other. No fade, no degradation. Just reliable, repeatable, accessible performance. The U9 isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning. BYD has already announced plans for future variants. A more track-focused version with even more downforce and less weight. A luxury GT variant with more range and comfort features. The technology developed for the U9 is already appearing in other Yangwang models. The U8, a luxury SUV with similar electric architecture. Future sedans and crossovers with scaled versions of these systems. But more importantly, the U9 proves that Chinese automakers can compete at the absolute highest levels of performance and luxury. That opens doors for the entire industry. Other Chinese brands are watching, learning, planning their own halo cars. NIO is developing a flagship electric supercar. XPeng has plans for high-performance variants. Even Geely is exploring the upper segments. The competition will be fierce. The pace of development will be incredible. The rate of improvement will make European manufacturers uncomfortable. Because while Ferrari spends a decade perfecting the next evolution of their V12, Chinese manufacturers are iterating every 2 years. New batteries, new motors, new software, constant improvement. The U9 in 3 years will be better than the U9 today. Faster, more efficient, more refined, through over-the-air updates and running changes to the production line. Legacy manufacturers can't keep pace with that development cycle. They're structured for longer product cycles. Slower iteration, more conservative improvement. China is playing a different game, moving faster, taking bigger risks, investing more heavily. The U9 is proof that strategy works, that the future of automotive performance will be written in Chinese characters. Whether you like it or not, This is the reality. The industry has fundamentally changed. The old order is ending, and the Yangwang U9 Xtreme is the car that announced it to the world.
So eres the truth. The Yangwang U9 Xtreme is exceptional. It's not perfect. The brand don't have Ferrari's heritage. The design, while striking, might not age as gracefully as classic Italian exotics. The dealer network outside China is still developing. But perfection was never the goal. The goal was to prove a point. To demonstrate capability. To announce arrival. And in that mission, the U9 succeeds absolutely. This is a car that accelerates faster than physics seems to allow. That corners with precision that feels computer generated. That stops with authority that borders on violence. It's a car with technology that won't appear in European supercars for another 5 years. With build quality that matches the best in the world. With a price that makes every competitor look overpriced. It's a car that makes you reconsider everything you thought you knew about the automotive hierarchy. Is it better than a Ferrari SF90? That's subjective. It's faster in some ways, more technologically advanced, far better value. But it don't carry the same emotional weight. The same heritage. The same prestige. Not yet, anyway. But give it time. Give it a generation of success. Give it a few years of proving itself on roads and tracks around the world. The Yangwang U9 Xtreme is more than a supercar. It's a statement. A warning. A preview of the future. It's China sign to the automotive world. We've arrived. We're serious. And we're not going anywhere. The old guard had a century-long head start. But the race has reset. And the Yangwang U9 Xtreme just crossed the starting line at 300 km/h.